I want to be better. I want to do things in a more productive and a proper way, everything organized. I want to be that dream boy or dream girl who does everything in the right time, at the right place, with the right people. So you're confused. How can I make my life organized? What can I do? So there are 5 habits that I would love to share, which actually helped me organize my life. And these habits did not come within a one night's work. And I spent maybe months, days, and even years to build these habits and make it a part of my routine. Hey guys, welcome to Janglo. So today I will be sharing you 5 habits which really helped me organize my life. The first and the foremost one is writing. We live in a very digitalized society where everything we see is being recorded in phones, in cameras, and all of that stuff. We don't even take the effort to write anything. Writing is really important because sometimes when I go to college, especially as a college student who's doing her second year, there are PDFs and materials which are available online and we can learn everything from internet. But what I miss the most is writing down things and learning it from our own handwriting. Sometimes that actually helps because when you write something which you learn, it actually helps in remembering things a little more easier. Writing is so important, Sometimes during a class, we cannot take our phones. Our phones are not allowed during class. So at that time, what I do is I open the back side of my rough book or any other notebook that I have and I jot down things that I want to, you know, remember by the end of the day and I have to complete those tasks. Now, for example, writing can also be done on your phone. I mean, there is an app called Notes in your phone, or maybe it has a different name in different phones. But what you can do is you might get a little bit of a spark. Like sometimes you may think like, okay, I have to do this today. I have to do this today. For example, there was a time when I was planning to learn Korean language. It's been 2 years since I stopped learning Korean language because of my busy schedule and stuff, but that is no excuse. I realized that I have to start again and take the minimal effort that I can because we have 24 hours a day. And learning Korean even for 10 minutes is also beneficial for me because I love learning languages. And I think you also may have so many other tasks to complete. Maybe water the plant today, or take your dog for a walk, or complete this assignment today. You may think it for that moment, but you may forget it later on. So what you can do is actually you can write it down in your phone, in your notes, or set an app called a reminder. I always do that. Human brains always tend to forget. So what we have to do is we have to cleverly write it down or note it down somewhere so that we can actually remember these things. When we go for shopping, I when I go for shopping, usually I write down things which I want to go I write down things which I want to purchase, and it's so easy because I can just purchase the things that are on my list. And sometimes, looking at the list, I might remember something else which I also did not mention in the list. So that's really helpful. So write things down, note it down. It's very essential. And sometimes there are minute things which happen in a day, and you will be like, yeah, I can do it tomorrow, I can do it the day after, but you will forget it. You'll be like, oh my God, time has gone and I did not yet complete it because you did not note it down, you did not see it, you forgot. You forgot. That's your excuse. But that shouldn't happen. I mean, you can note it down wherever you want. I won't say that you have to note it traditionally in paper and pen. You can even note it in your phone. You can note it like, I have to complete this assignment by 5 p.m. today. I have to pray today before going to bed. These are some examples of how you can write down things which you want. I think many of you are already implementing it, but it would be nice if you could make it a part of your daily routine because I've noticed the difference personally. I used to forget things, like even the minute things, I used to forget. Like even the littlest of things, I used to forget. And the moment when I started noting down things, I'm like, okay, I had to do this. I forgot. I completely forgot because we tend to forget. So do write things and note it down. The second habit that I would like to tell you is something called journaling. Journaling is basically, it's organized in a particular way which you want. Now, for example, I would love to do productive journaling. Productive journaling is something where I note down what I did productively every single day. Like, for example, today I slept for 8 hours, or I completed my assignment, I finished my project. These are all productive tasks that I have to complete. And once I've completed them, I note it down like, okay, I did this. So later on, when I feel like I'm not doing anything, I'm not productive, when I go back and see these things, I feel like, okay, yes, I completed these things. Okay, so I am capable of doing things and I will be able to do a lot of things in the future. That gives you a slight motivation. That's very useful. And that is called productive journaling. Now, there is something called emotional journaling. That is basically you write down what actually is emotionally affecting you. Like, for example, if you want to I mean, if you're feeling happy, you want to remember the moment, you can just write it down. Today, this and this happened, and I feel so good. I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful to God for this wonderful opportunity. This is called gratitude journaling. Gratitude journaling is basically thanking the universe, thanking God for each and every blessing that has come into your life. It can be ranging from the littlest of the things to the biggest of things. Like, for example, once I went to the canteen, I did not have my breakfast, I did not have my lunch. So I went to the canteen for food. So when I saw there was no food, everything was empty, people had come and gone, and I was too late for everything. And I felt so drowsy, I felt like I was about to faint. But that time, what I luckily did was I still waited in the canteen and I could see my friend bringing some snacks to eat. And that was actually a grateful thing for me because I was so hungry and I wanted something to eat. And at that moment, when I got what I wanted, I felt really thankful to God. So these are the littlest of the things that are happening, but you can actually note them down to make you feel better. Now, if you receive a certificate for something that you worked hard on, or if you receive some accomplishment, you can just note it down as a record, like, yes, I am capable and I have something to offer. It gives you a little reminder to cherish yourself for all the work and sacrifice that you've done. The next and the most important habit, which is the basic habit that everybody has to follow, is eat good food, drink water regularly, and sleep well. These are the basic skills that we have to, implement in our life. I mean, eating good food 3 times a day. When I was in my first year of college, I used to skip my breakfast all the time because I had nothing to prepare. And even though I bought the things, I used to wake up a little late and I never had time to prepare my breakfast. I used to go to college. And what I do is I go at the break time and have my breakfast, like which is around 11 a.m. But that is not how it should be. I mean, it should be healthy. It should be, I mean, you should have proper food at the right time. So what I do is I usually used to skip my breakfast in my first year. I only had lunch and dinner, but it seriously affected me because I was very thin at that time and I realized that I had not been giving so much of love to myself. I was not drinking water properly and that resulted into another issue where I had to face urinary tract infection, which is an infection which comes when you drink very little water and the toxins have to be flushed out of your body, and water is the fluid that actually helps you do so. But when you don't drink enough water, these toxins stay in your body and they actually make you sick. They actually make you inflamed and it actually makes you feel bad. It's not good for your kidneys, and this can also seriously result in many more other complications. So food and water, I realized its importance very late and I don't want you guys to do the same mistake. Please have food 3 times a day and also drink water. Water is always good for your skin. It's always good for your internal organs to function properly. It will just flush out all the toxic stuff from our body. It feels so fresh, and especially during the summer season when you drink lots of water, it keeps you hydrated. I mean, you don't have to feel dehydrated all the time because dehydration can also result in several other issues. So do drink a lot of water and have proper food daily, from morning, lunch, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever it may be. Just try to have these 3 meals a day properly. And snacks. Regarding snacks, I was a person who was always addicted to tea. So you can have snacks, obviously, but don't rely too much on them because your proper meals have to be your first priority compared to snacks. If you have snacks more than your proper meals, then that might also have an adverse effect on your health. And the next important thing is sleep. I mean, most of them don't sleep properly at all. They just sleep for 5 or 4 hours, thinking that it's okay and my body is able to handle all of that, but that will affect you in the later years. So at least try to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I used to sleep very late, around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the night, and I used to wake up at 7 o'clock for classes, for getting ready, for putting my skincare on, all of that. I used to wake up at 7 and or around 8 and all of that. But that is not the amount of sleep that I require. We have to sleep for 7 to 8 hours, but because when we sleep, our body heals. It is a complete rest to our mind. And when we skip sleep, we can see that there is a lot of difference in our physical as well as mental health. Your eyes become drowsy, you feel tired, you don't feel the energy, you have dark circles under your eyes, you feel like there is no purpose in living your life. Sometimes cutting sleep can have so many negative health effects, especially mentally. You feel stressed, you feel like there is a lot of work to do, you feel there is no solution, and there's a lot of confusion which comes along with it. So try to sleep at least 7 to 8 hours every single day because that is the actual sleep that you require. and it also is very useful for your body, and it helps in digestion, it helps in the regulation of the human body. It's really essential. So guys, the basic habits of eating 3 times a day, drinking lots of water to keep yourself hydrated, and sleeping regularly is very, very important. It really energizes you and makes you feel like you're becoming a better version of yourself physically and mentally. The last habit that I would like to recommend you is meditation. Now, when you listen to meditation, you may be thinking you just have to sit down for hours and think about something, or just close your eyes and sit like this. That is not meditation. Meditation is very, very useful. Initially, I was the person who did not believe in meditation. I was like, we have to just sit for hours, and what's going to happen? I mean, we just close our eyes, we open our eyes, and nothing else happens. No, when you do meditation, you will never see the effects in the first or the second one. Guided meditations are meditations which help you to meditate. So when you find them on YouTube, they actually talk in a very pleasant way with a beautiful music, and when you sit closing your eyes, you just have to listen to it, and you can opt for the time of meditation that you want. You can meditate for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, 15 or 20 minutes, depending on your time schedule and however how long you want to meditate. So that's totally up to you. But guys, I would recommend, we have 24 hours in a day. So meditating for even 5 minutes is really essential. It helps to calm your mind. It gives you mindfulness. Sometimes there is something which we call the inner voice in us. And when we meditate, it actually talks to us. It makes you think. You will be like, okay, why didn't I get this idea before? Because there is a voice inside of us which guides us, like the intuition that we call, the inner voice that guides you to do whatever you want to do. And you can hear it clearly when you give time to listen to it. So when you meditate, you just calm down, you just think closely. You close your eyes, you don't see anything, but all you have left is the voice of your mind, the several memories that you went through these days, and all the types of conversations that people went through, or the places that you visited, the things that you did. All this would be, coming up like memories in your head. That's how you start. And slowly, slowly, you will realize that your frequency will be coming into a neutral state where you're not angry, where you're not too high, or where you're not too low. You're just very calm to let the things and the thoughts go through like a process. Whatever thoughts come to you, maybe positive or negative, just let it come to you and just let it flow. You don't have to, think and ponder and overthink and make yourself fully pressured and stressed. Whatever thoughts come, just let it come, just let it flow. Like when you meditate, you will feel a sense of calmness. Like it might not happen within 1 or 2 weeks, it can take a lot of time depending on the person. Meditation really helps you to calm your mind down, it helps you to regulate your emotions. It may be giving you memories of certain incidents that happened, and you will be wondering, okay, why did I react to the situation like this? I could have reacted in a much better way. And it gives you self realization. You realize what were the things that you did and how you can make it better, or how you can improve it. Or there are some things that come into your memory and you feel like, okay, I shouldn't have done this, maybe I should have altered the ending and all of that. So self realization only comes when you give time to yourself, to talk to yourself, to be with yourself, to listen to that inner voice of yours. And meditation is one of the mediums that I used to do this. So it works for me. And meditation is not something which is like a start and an end, it is a process. The more you do, the more you feel that this is the purpose of life. Maybe you may get bolder and new ideas when you meditate, because you're sitting with yourself with all your thoughts and knowledge that you have and you've acquired through all these years in your life. And when you're spending time with yourself, finally you feel like, this is what I should have done. That is called self realization. That is when you feel like, this can happen and I am capable of doing it. And sometimes affirmations also help very much. I usually write affirmations on sticky notes and stick it in my wall. I make vision boards. It's very helpful. It gets you aligned with whatever your purpose is, whatever your goal is. It's a constant reminder for you to act in its way. Sometimes as humans, we get so distracted with this flow of life, we forget to work towards our goal. So when you want to focus, or when you want a subtle reminder for focusing on your goals, you can use vision boards, you can use manifestation techniques, you can use constant reminders, you can use these sticky notes and write on them, I want to become so and stuff. That really helps. So these are the tips that I wanted to share with you guys. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I will be coming with more and more tips in the following videos. So stay tuned and subscribe to Jangalo. Bye.